Good evening. This meeting has been announced in accordance with the open meetings resolution and is a legally constituted meeting of the Los Lunas Schools Board of Education.
Thank you, Ms. Chavez. Blake Maestas from Peralta Elementary. Where are you, Blake? Come on up, young lady. If you can turn and face everybody, we're going to say a couple of things about you. Go ahead, Ms. Chavez.
Meet Blake, a remarkable sixth grade student who may be small in stature, but her presence is nothing short of immense both in and outside the classroom. The phrase, "big things come in small packages," encapsulates Blake's kindness and uniqueness in everything she does. Her exceptional leadership qualities make her a dependable student, always ready to do the right thing and lend a helping hand to those in need. Beyond her kind-hearted nature, Blake is known for her infectious sense of humor that can brighten anyone's day. Her creativity knows no bounds, and she constantly thinks outside the box, bringing a fresh perspective to every challenge. As a student, Blake embodies excellence in every way. She is the true embodiment of a stellar student, and her contributions to her school community are nothing short of inspiring. Blake lives with her parents, Melissa and Justin, and sister Bentley, who also attends Peralta Elementary. Outside of school, she enjoys reading, competing in gymnastics and wrestling competitions, and spending time with her family. Peralta Elementary is extremely proud to have Blake as one of its own.
Thank you. If I can have. Let's leave us on the flag of allegiance and the flag is on. Thank you, ma'am. Why don't you start right with this test? And you can put them in here if you want, because you're getting the bag as well. There's a certificate. One, two, one page this one. Perfect.
Help yourself, we got a whole bag out.
Once again, thank you, Blake. Takes us to item 4 on the agenda. Ms. Chavez, are there any changes or deletions on the agenda this evening?
Madam President, I have one change to recommend. I would ask that item number 9, discussion and approval to amend policy section K, school community relations, as discussed at November 14th, 2023 special meeting, be removed from the agenda and added to the agenda of December 19th. This will allow for board council, the full board, and Dr. Kettler to give input on the section prior to consideration of its approval.
Thank you, Mrs. Chavez. So we have a request. Is that the only requested change?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. So we have a requested change from staff to remove item 9 from the agenda. I would need a motion to approve.
I motion to approve the agenda as discussed with the removal of number 9.
So I have a motion to remove item 9 from the agenda by Mr. Bennett. Can I get a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Vickers. Any discussion on removing section K of the policy school community relations from the agenda? Not hearing any discussion, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Hedon, how do you vote?
Yeah.
Mr. Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. Vickers,
Yes.
and I too vote yes. Item number 9 is removed from the agenda tonight and will show up at our next month's board meeting. That brings us to item number 5 of the agenda, which is public comment. Ms. Chavez, do we have anybody requesting public comment this evening?
There are no requests tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Chavez. Then that takes us to approval of consent items. So gentlemen, in front of you, you do have the consent items for tonight's agenda. I do not see any discussion matters being presented. Mr. Hedon did have an opportunity to also give consent tonight if he chose. So I'll stand for a motion regarding the consent items.
Madam President, I motion that we approve the consent items as presented.
So I have a motion by Mr. Bennett to approve consent. Can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Vickers has made a second to that motion. Any discussion on consent items? Not hearing any, I'm going to go ahead and call for the vote. Mr. Hidon, how do you vote?
Yeah.
Mr. Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. Vickers,
Yes.
and I too vote yes. All the matters on consent have been approved. That takes us to item number 8 on the agenda, which is the superintendent's report. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Chavez.
Good evening again. I am so excited to present to you Aaliyah Romero, our student representative from Valencia High School. Aaliyah Romero is a senior at Valencia High School. She lives with her grandmother, Karen Maestas. Aaliyah is student body president, National Honor Society historian, a student mentor, Jaguar band member, and a reader for the Road to Literacy Elementary Reading Program. In her spare time, she likes to organize school activities and study. After high school, Aaliyah plans on attending UNM to study elementary education. Aaliyah was chosen by the staff at Valencia High School because of her high energy, her academic success, and her commitment to the student body. She demonstrates daily the skills to be an outstanding student and role model at Valencia High School. And Aaliyah, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Romero. If you can-
Says last.
Good evening, Madam President, board members, Ms. Chavez. Thank you for letting me speak to you about Valencia High School. I'm a member of VHS Marching and Concert Bands, historian for National Honor Society chapter, and also the acting president of Student Council. As such, I visit a lot of schools around New Mexico, and I can really say that Valencia High School is the perfect place for me. With its beautiful view and mountains, its spread out open campus and all the activities, clubs to join, and the amazing staff is exactly what I want in a school. Valencia High School values its top-notch education. At our open house in August, we recognized and awarded all of our students who earned a 3 or higher on AP exams last spring. Our AP class numbers are even higher this year, and we are hoping to raise the AP exam scores to a new record. Valencia High School partners with Los Lunas schools in the mentorship program, and I'm honored to mentor a student at Desert View Elementary. I get to go there every day and work with her, and I love just being able to help her and grow every day. And the program allows me what it will be to work in the field of education, which I hope to do someday. This year, I am student body president for Valencia High. As president, I help build our student council and continue making improvements that will impact our school and community. This fall, our council has hosted 2 school assemblies, led student section at sporting events like our home football and volleyball games, and hosted literacy nights for the community. Student council provided seniors with a beautiful senior sunrise event and hosted a Spear Week and homecoming events leading up to our winning homecoming football game on October 6th. Student Council has helped host Road to Literacy events. At our football literacy night on October 13th, I read a story to elementary students with their families on the Jaguar logo out on the football field prior to the game. We gave away books and hot chocolate, and it was just fun to see the kids and with their families excited about reading. At our volleyball literacy night, we enjoyed memories of the 501 Regiment who dressed in Star Wars. We gave away comic books and did arts and crafts and read to elementary students. For each of these events, Student Council got donations of comic books and organized volunteers. VHS has about 30 Road to Literacy high school students who go to elementary schools once a week to read with students in their assigned class. It is wonderful to know that we are helping young kids learn to love reading. Valencia has a wide variety of sports, clubs, performing arts, and NMOST. Our volleyball team showed a lot of growth this year, and we made it to our first round of state. Our volleyball team is currently ranked at second place in the district, and we have 3 cross countries finalists moving on to state. One, Victor Ramirez, took first place in the district male bracket. FFA is always competition ready. Drama just had their 2nd annual haunted house, and it was a great success. And marching band took second place in the NAU marching competition. And lastly, National Honor Society is working very hard to gather donations of warm weather clothing, toiletries to share with individuals in the community who are in need for this winter. One of the reasons why I love Valencia High is that the staff is truly listening. Last year, the principals and the student body president and representative began Principals Advisory Committee. This is where the principals would talk with the student body and what could be better and ways to improve the school. We also continued it this year, and I can honestly say that the staff is truly listening to the students. Because of these meetings, new doorbells were installed to help improve student safety. And student council works together with the staff to host community events. The staff and coaches are able to make this happen for the students. They nurture and create bonds and assist the students with these extra activities and these opportunities that staff and coaches provide. Valencia is growing every year, making sure that it enhances the experience for students. Valencia staff works very hard. The janitors work hard to keep our school clean. The office staff works very hard to make sure our school is in order, and the teachers work hard to make sure the students get the most optimal learning, that they are being recognized for their work. There's no other place that I would rather go than Valencia. Thank you for your time and support for our beautiful school.
Awesome. Hey, thank you. Wait there, because we might have some questions, okay? Mr. Bennett, I'll start with you.
Yeah, for starters, thank you for taking time out of your spare time to be here to give this presentation. We appreciate it. And also thank you for being in that mentoring program. I know it means a lot to Mr. Ottagoni. He's very, very, very proud of that program. And I hope you much success. And that guy right there by you is Mr. Seiss. He's the one's going to be hiring you to be a teacher here. So we're set. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Bennett. Mr. Vickers.
Yeah, thank you for being here and for all you do as to contribute to the community up there. I was going to ask you, what grade do you like best as far as teaching in elementary? What grade would you prefer to teach in?
Either 3rd grade or 1st grade. That's what I've been really working with, but I like those age groups.
Good to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vickers. Mr. Hedon, if you heard the presentation, any questions for our young lady here?
I really want to thank her for the time she took tonight to come present that to us. One of the things I really heard that I appreciated was the mentorship and giving back. That's huge. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Romero, you said you're taking the donations from the student body?
Yeah.
Okay, so when and where do they make donations or drop offs?
So the donations for National Honor Society for the warm weather clothing, we have boxes around for each class that's in 4th period, and the 4th period class will donate it in that class.
Okay.
So it's just around the school classes, and whoever has the most donations from that class will have a prize. So it's just around our campus.
So the high school 4th graders are collecting, the 4th graders, 4th period are collecting the items and donating them in their classroom.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we also have it to our theater schools. So each theater school has a different thing. So the elementaries have clothing, and our middle school has like jacket or hats and scarves and gloves.
Okay.
So it's all different. So we can get every single donation, an item.
Well, that's awesome. And thank you for letting us know, and good luck with that. I know there's a lot of need in our community, and I appreciate the class,
Thank
all
you.
the classes.
And
taking
then
time to be
the donations end December 8th.
December 8th.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you very much. What instrument do you play?
I play percussion. So drums and things you hit.
Well, fiddle, Congratulations. We want to see you a teacher here in our district, and thank you for being here tonight. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aaliyah. We're really proud of you. So proud that you're a Jaguar. So next on our agenda is a presentation from Ms. Vitamontes, our principal at Peralta Elementary, and she will share a presentation on Peralta Elementary.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the Los Lunas School Board of Education. Mrs. Chavez, thank you for the opportunity to spend a few minutes talking to you about Peralta Elementary. I would first like to start by thanking my staff members who I see in the audience. I appreciate every one of them for coming out into the cold this evening. Thank you. Peralta Elementary, our 90-day plan communicates a shared mission of ensuring that all of our students are exposed to grade level curriculum and rigorous lessons. Weekly PLCs allow for grade level planning, vertical alignment between grades, the sharing of best practices, and the creation of common lesson plans. Bi-weekly walkthrough and feedback sessions allow me the opportunity to see lessons being presented in classrooms and initiate a positive system of feedback to further enhance our curriculum and instruction. Staff, we are working to ensure that at least 75% of our lessons are aligned with grade level standards. In addition to district-provided curriculum, our curriculum is an online cataloged library of math, science, and ELA materials aligned again to Common Core state standards that provide our teachers with a wealth of additional support materials right as they're at their fingertips as they see as needed. In our innovation lab at Peralta Elementary, students experience technology through the use of 3D printers, virtual reality goggles, and a wide variety of programmable robots that we have there in the room. All of our classes have access to Amira to support students with reading at their independent levels. And merge cubes are a very popular piece of technology for students to use. They provide students with authentic learning experiences using augmented reality to explore a large variety of topics. So for example, they might be able to view the human heart in 3D or artifacts from ancient Greece, depending on what their learning is. We begin every morning reciting the pledge both in English and Spanish. We have several sets of time kettle translator earbuds, which allow us to communicate with our monolingual students, as well as their families as they come in needing our support. Messages sent home using the Remind app are able to be translated into Spanish. So that way we ensure all of our families receive all of the information that we need to send out to them. And we are lucky enough to have several TESOL endorsed teachers who do provide our English learners with additional support in the classroom. Our 2022-23 data shows that we have opportunities for growth. Our core team used this data to develop our 90-day plan with the goal of improving instruction and overall outcomes across our campus. We are using current iStation and IMESA data to assess progress and make necessary adjustments to instruction and to ensure we are on target to meet our goals. Our data wall gives us a visual representation of our progress as we go throughout the year. On November 9th, we held our very first ever career night, where we had about 30 presenters who represented a wide variety of career fields. Our students were able to learn about running a small business, such as a flower shop or a bakery, and what education they might need if they want to become a physical therapist. Throughout the year, we will continue to have various guest speakers come into classrooms and share additional information about other careers. And then finally, we are very lucky this year to have 2 student mentors from Los Lunas High School who are on our campus daily. They not only spend lots of time mentoring the students, but they are able to give our students a little bit of insight into their experiences as they are getting ready to plan for their futures after their own graduation. Program was created by our Peralta Elementary staff to set behavioral expectations for all our students to follow. We expect our students to practice kindness, act responsibly, make wise choices, and show respect to others. So there's our pause. We also use the pillars of character to support the growth of our students in their social and emotional well-being. And our 6th graders serve as weekly reading buddies to our kindergarten students. The younger students find absolute joy in listening to the older students, and the interaction also serves as valuable mentoring for our 6th grade students. It fosters both academic and personal growth to those older kids. The teachers at Peralta Elementary participate in numerous communities of practice throughout the year, dedicating their time to collaborating with colleagues at the same grade level, collectively addressing shared challenges that we face throughout the district. Our absolutely wonderful learning innovation coach offers support during PLCs, one-on-one mentorship, co-teaching, and support in creating lessons for all of our teachers. We are extremely lucky to have her with us. We have a core group of parent volunteers who are on a call list for when we have student activities we need help with or fundraisers that we want to run throughout the year. Our parent-teacher conferences were a huge success in September. We had a wonderful number of parents come in and participate, and we look forward to having another successful day of conferences in February. Our Title I parent meeting gave us the opportunity to share important information about our school with our families. And then again, our career night at the beginning of this month was an excellent way for families to join us in our school community. The school safety team works very closely with our SRO to ensure campus safety and to create safety plans as we need to and make adjustments as we go. All of our staff members have received RAVE app training, and this app allows for basically a one-button quick signal that can report either a threat or emergencies on campus. And our 2nd and 3rd grade classes have had the opportunity to participate in Rocket Live safety videos, which feature a cartoon dog who interacts with each class and can call on students as they're viewing the presentation. And he essentially shares with students the importance of following safety rules. That concludes my presentation about Peralta Elementary. I will stand for any questions. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Bennett.
Yeah, good. Thank you for your presentation. It's very nice that you got everyone involved there. Could you
Thank you.
explain to that TESOL teachers
TESOL teachers are have an extra endorsement and it's their endorsement is in EL, helping our English learners. So they do it's in addition to having your regular teaching license. And so they are focused, in addition to having their own classes, to supporting our EL students and giving them some extra learning.
And I think it's a great idea. You have the older kids reading to the younger kids and vice versa. It gives them something to look forward to.
Absolutely, on both ends.
Appreciate that. Thank you for all you're doing over there.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got a few questions.
Okay.
What are PLC?
Our professional learning communities. So they happen on a weekly basis. And because we're such a small school, most of our teams are made up of more than one grade level at a time. So we do get the added benefit of not only working with one grade level, but in most cases, at least 2 grade levels.
I have the Amira. Would you explain that?
So Amira is a fairly new app to us. And so we're still learning it, but it's kind of an AI type of deal where it allows students to read at their level. And then she gives students feedback, and then it kind of increases in level as they improve.
Okay,
And
so
it's
computer-based.
It's
and
computer-based.
They check comprehension
Absolutely, yes.
and the merge cubes. How do those work?
Merge cubes are super cool. I know my 6th grade teacher uses them quite a bit. It's just what it sounds like. It's a cube. And the app is on their iPads, and essentially depending on what the teacher wants them to learn, they can put the cube under their iPad and choose different things. So for example, if it's science and they're learning about parts of the body, they may be able to pull up what the heart looks like. They turn the cube and they can see different pieces, different parts of the heart. They're really, really cool for the students to use. They do enjoy them.
And TESOL, Mr. Bennett covered that.
Mhm.
Let's see. One other thing. Yeah, on the Rocket Live safety videos, I'm wondering, do they teach gun safety?
I do not have the answer to that. So we have started with a video focused on bullying. And it's a series of videos that they get to watch. So the first one that we started with did focus on bullying. That's a good question. I'm not sure if he covers that or not.
Yeah, I was just wondering because you were hearing in the news about
Absolutely.
15-year-old running around with guns.
Yes.
And it's really cool
Right.
for them.
Right.
But did they ever learn anything in elementary school about safety and all of that? That seems like that's an important lesson.
That
What do
it
you
would
do
be.
if you see a gun, that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So-
That would be definitely something to inquire if it's not there and
Yeah, there are curriculums that deal with that. for
Absolutely.
elementary level.
Mhm.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Hidon, was there any questions you'd like for the principal of Peralta?
I don't have any questions. I want to thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hidon.
I just wanted to go back to your data real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is this year's numbers, or is this what ended in May of last year?
That was the end of May
Okay,
last year.
So-
Yes, ma'am.
and you don't have anything here to compare it to the year before,
No, ma'am.
but this is improvement, and like you said, you have a way to go. So you're talking about ELA. And
Absolutely.
then this graph.
Mhm. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. We definitely have lots of opportunities for improvement.
But it
And-
seems like we're right in the middle.
Yeah.
Like we're doing where we should be. It's looking for above and beyond.
Absolutely.
Good. I just wanted to know what it compared to from the year before, but you don't have that.
No, ma'am, I do.
Just put me on the spot. What else?
That's all right.
Right?
That's okay.
So appreciate that. And your community in Proctor is a very strong community and I know.
Yes,
you
it
show
is.
up for all your participated.
They
events,
do.
And I
They
think that
do.
that's amazing that your community supports it like that.
They're wonderful. I appreciate being in my home there.
Well, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Ms. Cervantes, and thank you to the Palo Elementary staff for being here tonight. I was a member of the staff for many years, and it will always hold a very special place in my heart. And that will conclude the superintendent's Dr. Kettler's report for this evening.
Thank you, Ms. Chavez. All right, so item number 8 is for informational purposes only. No action is needed or warranted at this time. All right, so I believe we took off item 9. We should be headed to item 10 on the agenda, which is report on the audit committee meeting. Ms. Tracek?
Hey, Madam President, members of the board, Mrs. Chavez. So I have just a slight update on the audit. Our audit committee met for the last time mid-October. And we had, the auditor had discussed with our committee where they were. We had provided everything that we needed at that point. It was just up to the auditor to finalize their reports. And they were due to the state November 15th. And I'm pleased to let you know that our auditor sent them on time on the 15th with hours to spare. So, so anyway, the most important thing is that they did go on time. However, the state now, everyone's due date is at the same time. And so it's going to take the state quite a while, I'm sure, to go through. They do go through them thoroughly. So now we're just at a waiting time, waiting for the state to review. What we should see next is the state will send something letting us know that it's okay to release to us and our auditors. And then we'll be providing that to the board to go over. And that's probably January, February. And that's really all I have to report because our audit is still confidential until we bring it to you after the state, just because the state could find something that the auditors have not found and they might want to dig into something deeper. So it is still confidential. I'd love to tell you, but I can't.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Tracek. Any questions for Ms. Tracek? Nope, none. Mr. Vickers, none. Mr. Hidon, any questions?
No.
Thank you. All right, well, then I guess we'll get the report in January, February. Thanks, Ms. Tracek. Again, this item is for informational purposes only. No action is needed or warranted at this time. We have consented to all of the finance committee items, which takes us to item number 12 on the agenda, which is new business. I'll ask any board members if there's any business they would like to see on the agenda or suggestions for the agenda that I'll be working on in the next week.
Madam
If
President,
there's anything, yes, Mr. Bennett.
I would like to see us put something about the Mill 3 discussion and possibility of maybe a special election. So if we could have a discussion, maybe also make it an action item.
I will make sure, and Ms. Chavez will make sure that Dr. Kettler knows that if we need to get speakers, maybe from our bonding company or something, they might want to come and talk to us to try to get that into our one and only meeting in December. So,
Okay.
yeah, we'll try to get that on if he could get us some presentation. Anything else, Mr. Bennett?
That's all.
That's it, Mr. Vickers?
Okay.
Mr. Hidon, anything?
Yeah, I have a question, Mr. Bennett. That issue though.
Ask the question one more time. I'm sorry, we didn't hear it. What was it?
Mr. Bennett, my question is, we had this now a couple weeks ago, and you're talking about the one that failed. What would you want to be discussing the action on? That,
I guess to find out what the possibilities, why it may have failed, I think they might have some ideas why it may have failed, and if it's possible. That if there could be changes be done that maybe get it to pass, so we could have that $3 million money to operate this district.
So that'd be an action. Oh,
I guess both.
so I guess what action would we be taking?
Well, if it was proposed that to have a special election to make an action, whether we vote on to have a special election or not.
Thank you. Okay, so then the request by Mr. Bennett is to make it a discussion and or action item on any discussion on the item that failed on our bond, the 3 mil, correct? Yes. I'll come up with language that makes a little bit more sense than that, but I'll figure it out, okay? Okay, so then with that, again, if any board members have anything they want on the agenda, please let me know as soon as possible so I can get that to staff to get that posted and printed in accordance with our policies. With that, it takes us to item number 13, which is going to be the announcement of meetings. As allowed by the Open Meetings Act and the District Open Meetings Resolution, on occasion, a quorum of the board members attend the same function, including those at school sites, district level, sports functions, and community activities. Board members will refrain from discussing and or acting on Las Vegas School Board of Education issues in those settings. In addition, only official meetings are published, and if other meetings are scheduled, they will be announced in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. With that being said, I'll announce the following meetings. On November the 30th through December the 2nd, the New Mexico School Board Association is having their annual convention at the Embassy Suites Hotel. This is at 1000 Woodward Place in Albuquerque, and a quorum may be in attendance. On December the 12th, we will have a finance committee meeting here in central office at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. On December 19th, we will have a closed executive session here at Central Office Conference Room at 4 p.m. This will be regarding limited personnel, specifically the superintendent's evaluation, which is pursuant to 10-15-1 H2 of the Open Meetings Act, and a quorum will be in attendance. Also on December 19th will be our regular board meeting here at the Central Office Boardroom at 6 p.m. That brings us to adjournment.
So move.
I need a motion. Mr. Bennett has made a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
Mr. Vickers has made a second. Any other discussion on the adjournment of the meeting? Not hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Hedon?
Yeah.
Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Vickers?
Yes.
And I too vote yes. A meeting is now adjourned at 6:39. Thank you for being here.